Good morning. My name is Andrew Wright. Forgive me for the lateness on this. I've had some internet issues, and so I've done the best that I could in that regard. But um, the big thing today was to talk about the week one assignment, the week one video, and finding some dissertations that could relate to the topic that I'm going to be writing about when it comes to my own dissertation. To start off with my own dissertation, it is going to focus on tanks, United States Army armor, and their role in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom from 2003 to 2011. This topic is something that is very dear and near to my heart, and I think it's one of the things that I noticed as I was looking through the dissertations and as I've done study in general, that it's not a topic that has been discussed in length, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about is I can kind of give my own spin on it without there being 30, 40, 50 different other dissertations about the topic, and that's was very important to me as well. Some of the sources I use, one of them was by Stacy Peterson. His dissertation, or her, we don't know, based on the name, but it was talking about the National Guardsmen when they come back from Iraq. These three, the three sources that I use, they all had the same idea about soldiers coming back from Iraq, um, which was important to me because it at least dived into the idea of the Iraq War and what it was like over there. As we know, thousands of soldiers come back with PTSD symptoms or some types of ailments from Iraq, and um, I've heard I, I've heard many different arguments about whether those we should continue to pay those, but the reality is that we send people over to Iraq and they do what they do for our country. And if they come back with ailments due to that, then yes, I believe they should be compensated for that. But far as Stacy goes, hers was really talking about the National Guard, not the active duty, which is what my dissertation would be focused on. But hers is talking about the National Guard, and it's different from the National Guards because they don't train on the regular like the regular Army does. They have set training dates. I believe it's 1 week in a month. That they get together and train as the regular Army. Of course, they live together. They live on a base. They train every single day. So it's a little bit different. And I'm not saying that the National Guard, they don't have the capacity to deal with some of the stress of combat, but it is different when you're living with your loved ones one day and then the next day you're going off to war. The next source I used was by Samuel Odom. It's called Deployment and Redeployment. That's basically talking about how there's many soldiers out there who've gone through 6, 7, and 8 deployments. I personally know people who've gone through, 7, 8, 9 deployments in their life, and that's a lot of time to be in war. That's a lot of time to be um, in combat. Because for some of those people who have that many deployments, they have extensive combat experience and going out on hundreds upon hundreds of mounted and dismounted patrols and the things that they have to encounter. It is very tough on those soldiers mentally. And this is military history, something that's not just modern military history, but ancient military history in general. Um, it is something that's always near and dear to my heart because of the story that can be told of the soldier, the story that can be told of the atmosphere um, behind the war, and that is the biggest thing to me. Um, and it is important to continue to dive into military history because I believe it gives us a sense of self because the world itself was shaped by the military and shaped by conflict. And I believe it's important to have those instructors with that type of background that can give you that knowledge of how that conflict did indeed shape the world. But I'll be interested to know your feedback and background. I look forward to seeing you all and speaking with you all this semester.